I mean, it always feels good to, of course, be nominated for
Yeah.
something, and then, your acclamations that you've gained over time
Yeah.
are, well enough, just as great. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you, bro.
How does it feel balancing fatherhood? You're a
Yeah.
new father, so how does it feel balancing your fatherhood with your career?
I mean, it's one of the toughest things, and for me, it's, specifically, I haven't stopped working in 2 years. So since everything kind of started and like people knew who I was, like I haven't taken a break. I haven't taken a second to like have a month straight with her, or have like 3 weeks straight with her. Like I haven't had that time. So I like go on the road, come back, try to get in some time. Go on the road, come back, try to get in some more time. So it's easier said than done, but it's not something that's impossible. Like I figure it out every time I see her. She's happy to see me. We have fun. She knows who her dad is. She knows my music. I'm pretty sure it gets played before she goes to sleep while she's like doing her day. Yeah, being a dad is one of the greatest things you could ever be, bro.
For sure.
So what would you tell some of these other young fathers out here that might not have experienced that? Because I think that especially with our young community and our young generation, it's like a lot of the young men didn't have fathers in their lives, and now they're decide not to be a father because they feel like they grew up fine. Like, what would you
Yeah, I
tell
mean,
some of these
I
cats?
don't think like per se everybody has their own path and their own purpose and like what makes them comfortable. But for me, it was just like whatever I didn't have growing up, I'm gonna make sure she has it. And that was like the minute that I found out I was having a kid. It was just like whatever I missed or whatever like I needed, I'm gonna make sure she has all of that. Not I can't do it because it didn't happen to me, or not I don't feel like I can live up to it, or I don't need it. It was just like whatever I didn't have, she's gonna have it, and I'm gonna have fun doing it, and she's gonna look back and be like, my dad was a cool dad.
Right.
Yeah.
So, question: your music.
Mm.
What a lot of these stories, because you are definitely a dope storyteller as far as with your music.
Thank you.
Are these all real life things you go
Everything,
through? Like
yeah.
everything.
Every single thing is a real life story. I get in trouble for a lot of these stories just because like I've had trouble telling the truth in my actual life versus like when I put a beat on.
Right.
So it would be things I wouldn't talk about, in person, and then they would hear a song and they would be like, "Really, bro? Like that's what you gonna like talk about? That's what you gonna put out there?" Like Problems, for instance, was a real life situation. The minute it happened was the minute I wrote about it, and from there, like I say, these are situations. MTFU on the first album, like these are things where the song comes out and people hit me like, seriously. But eventually, like they say, like I understand your perspective. I understand like what you're trying to get at, because it's never like an attacking standpoint. It's just like this is the only way I know how to talk about it. And now I'm working on like with this new album. This was like a new place in my life where I'm just like now I have to talk about stuff. I can't just write songs about it, like because it's shown in the past that it comes back to bite you. So.
Right. So some of these stories, have you lost friends for some of these stories you didn't put out on albums?
I have for sure lost friends, loved ones, but through that, like it filters out like who's supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there. Because anybody who knows me they know I don't do things maliciously. I don't do things like with ill intent. It's my job to tell the truth, not just for me, but for you and for other people to learn from, regardless.
So what's the worst thing somebody said to you responding to a song that you wrote? Was it like, "Hey, Black, fuck you, Black"? like what was it?
It was more so of just like a feeling. Like it wasn't words specifically, but you play a song and a certain line like plays in that song, and then you can feel the energy in the room change, and it's like, was that about me? And it's like,
don't ask me, I won't tell you.
I'm like, if it fits,
So okay, so let me ask you a question. Personal question. Last time you got in trouble with your mama, what happened? The last to you remember that?
I'm trying to think back. It always got to that. Like I feel like with every young man, it got to that point where you were just like, "Ma, I'm too old."
Right, too old for that.
Yeah, like that don't work no more. So
like when I accidentally cuss, sometimes my mama still threatened to hit me with a shoe.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to curse around my mom, but for the most part, I'm trying to think of like the last time I got in trouble. I can think of like the last situation that would probably be, like her swinging a belt in the heat of something school related, had to be.
Okay.
And me just being a little bit taller than her and being like, "Mom, like
I'm about to buck."
Yeah, like but like we could talk about it. But that I'm done crying, bro. Like I think when we young, we cry for dramatic effect. It's like, you hitting me, you hurting me, blah blah blah. But I got older, I'm like, she hitting me, I'm quiet, I'm like, I'm moving, but it ain't really working. I'm just like, "Mom, like
stop,
bro. Like we can talk about it. We can talk it out."
So people are saying now, just the end of the year, people are talking about best album of the year, and your album comes up. Like we had this conversation yesterday, actually, just talking about best album of the year, and your album comes up. Who do you think, like right now, has a best album of the year other than yours?
This year I listened to Pusha's album a lot. I listened to Tierra Whack's album a lot. I'm listening to Roddy Ricch album a lot.
We just talked to him.
I had a lot of stuff on shuffle this year. So much music came out. I'm glad I dropped like exactly when I dropped.
Right.
Cause right after that,
it was an influx. Right.
It was over. But yeah, those are some people. I'm trying to like skim through my phone real quick and see who else I've been listening to. There's been a lot of music this year. A lot of music. Key, 777 was one of my favorite projects this year.
Key.
Yeah. There's a lot of different stuff that came out this year. I know I'm gonna miss something if I name everything, but those are like some of the things I had in rotation on the tour bus. Roddy Ricch, like that's been the mixtape for my whole tour. Meet and greets, everything that's playing every single day.